The Pats walk away with a win in Cincy, but it wasn't easy, and it looks like it'll end up being very costly. We're live for a postgame, and this is Locked On Patriots.
You are Locked On Patriots, your daily New England Patriots podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's happening? I am your host, Nick Cattles, born and raised in New England, been covering the Pats for 16 years, also the co-host of the Greg Bedard Patriots podcast with Nick Cattles and a sports radio veteran. Welcome to Locked On Patriots, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, now the #1 sports podcast network, your team every day. On today's postgame, we'll discuss a decision by Mike Vrabel that I disagreed with and why. Also, the injuries are piling up, and some might just be severe by the looks of them. But first, the Pats find a way and respond to adversity, ending up with their 10th win of the season. Today's episode is sponsored by PrizePicks. Download the PrizePicks app today and use code LOCKEDONNFL to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. How did the Patriots win this game? How in the world did they win this game in Cincinnati 26-20? Well, I start with Drake Maye. Drake Maye responded. And that's why this team walked away, maybe even limped away, with a win in Cincinnati. Drake Maye's response after a bad start speaks volumes to his mental toughness and his ability to battle that adversity and show resiliency. Now, numbers-wise, nobody's going to be going bananas over Drake Maye's 62.9% completion percentage, 294 yards. He still has not reached 300 passing yards in a game, which is kind of crazy. The one touchdown, the one interception, of course, that interception was a pick six, had Hunter Henry wide open in the middle of the field and missed him. But the ability for Drake Maye to come back after what was one of his worst starts to a game in quite a while. I mean, he was all over the place. He has been incredibly accurate all season for the most part. But when you look at how this game began, I mean, he just had some throws that were weird. Travion Henderson wide open in the flat for a check down. He airmails him. You saw him airmail Hunter Henry, as I just mentioned, who was open, tried to layer the throw, but I mean, just airmailed it, overshot him, resulting in a pick six. He was throwing behind guys. He was throwing over guys. And it seemed like Drake Maye, for the first time, as far as accuracy went, he just couldn't find it. You need to go back to, the rainy game that we all witnessed in Tampa on that first drive when Drake Maye was kind of floating it over intended receivers. And he was scattered. The accuracy wasn't there. And he just did not look like himself. And Trent Green, the color commentator on the game today, kept saying it. He doesn't look like himself. He doesn't look comfortable. But then he found it. He battled back, and he made several huge plays, including a number of big plays on third down yet again. Second quarter, fourth drive of the game for the Patriots, 3rd and 4, shotgun formation. Drake Maye scrambles, gets 6 yards, moves the chains. 3rd and 2 on the same drive. Shotgun formation, finds Hunter Henry on the crossing route, 12 yards, first down, move those chains. That drive ends up in a touchdown. So you convert on not one, but 2 third downs, thanks to Drake Maye. Third quarter, second drive of the second half, 2nd and 6. An absolute dime by Drake Maye down the sideline to Matt Collins, chunk play, 25-plus yards. 3rd and 12. Shotgun formation. Drake Maye extends, finds Hunter Henry for 10 yards. Now, if he doesn't find Hunter Henry for 10 yards there, you're looking at a 55-yard field goal attempt or a punt. But because he is able to extend that play, find Henry, get 10 yards, you get the 45-yard field goal attempt by Andy Borregales, which was good. The Patriots go up 20-13. The fourth quarter, final drive for the Patriots, 3rd and 10, shotgun formation, finds Stephon Diggs, who for most of this game was on the back of a milk carton, but he comes up with a huge catch for 14 yards, and that drive ends up with a 52-yard field goal again by Andy Borregales, which puts you up 26-20 at that time. So some huge plays from your quarterback yet again, some huge plays on third down from that quarterback. You were down 10-0 in this game. Maye was spraying it all over the football field, but he settled down, he battled the adversity, and he found ways to make plays and win this game. And it's really all on Maye, isn't it? I mean, you watch this offensive operation, and this has been the case for most of the year. Stephon Diggs, one of his top guys, quiet all day until that huge third down. The run game, again, wasn't good. 24 carries, 71 yards against this Cincinnati defense. One of the worst run defenses in football. You could argue the worst run defense in football, and you get 71 yards on 24 carries from your running backs. Just not nearly good enough. Hunter Henry, critical today. I don't know what this offense would have looked like if it wasn't for Hunter Henry destroying some of the linebackers of Cincinnati. Hunter Henry finished with 7 catches, 115 yards, and a touchdown. So thankfully, Hunter Henry showed up big. Andy Borregales showed up big. Early in the year, I was like, uh-oh. We're watching Borregales miss extra points, miss a field goal or two, and you start saying to yourself, if not into the world like I did on Twitter, the Patriots might have a kicking problem, or they do have a kicking problem. Andy Borregales, since the very early part of this season, has been absolutely freaking nails. 4 for 4 today on his field goals, including that 52-yarder. He was tremendous. Your rookie kicker was excellent today. Thanks to your rookie kicker and your second-year quarterback, you survived. And the defense did enough. I know we watch this defense. We say it every week. There are some parts of this defense that's just, they're so frustrating to watch at times. But the fact is, your defense held Cincinnati to 13 points. The pick 6 is on Drake Maye. So that is 7 points gifted to Cincinnati. You take that 7 off the board, your defense held them to 13 points. And I thought that the Bengals would score 20 points in this game. My prediction for this game was 31-20 Patriots if Joe Flacco was the quarterback. Now, we'll get to this later. If the Patriots could have scored inside the 5-yard line, my prediction would have looked absolutely wonderful, but they couldn't, so it didn't. But your defense held this Bengals offense to 13 points. You can't complain about that. Cincinnati was 3 for 13 on third down. So again, the Patriots defense played very, very well on third down. Carlton Davis, you want to talk about showing some resiliency? I thought he showed some resiliency. Not 1, not 2, but 3 pass breakups on that final drive for Cincinnati. Marcus Jones with the big pass breakup on 4th down to end this game, to seal it for the Patriots. Marcus Jones, of course, also had the pick 6, responding to Drake Maye's pick 6. It was far from perfect. The run defense looked leaky again. The pass rush with 4 guys was, again, almost non-existent. And you absolutely unequivocally missed Milton Williams today. You missed his impact. We knew that you would miss his impact. You missed his impact. That defensive line left a lot to be desired for most of this day, giving up a 21-yard run at the end of the half, which ends up in a field goal for Cincy. That's inexcusable. It's inexcusable execution. But they got the win. They got the win. Thanks to Maye, thanks to Henry, thanks to Borregales, thanks to the defense doing enough in their third down defense, and Carlton Davis and Marcus Jones on that final drive, you walk away with a 26-20 win, and you are now 10-2 on the season. We have a lot more to cover during this postgame. I think everyone can officially stop talking about the tremendous injury luck that the Patriots have had. We can stop talking about that after this game. We'll talk about that next. This is Locked On Patriots, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Episode is brought to you by PrizePicks. The holiday season is one of the best times for sports, bowl games, big basketball matchups, playoff pushes. It's all happening at once. And while we're all making choices every day, one of the most fun places to make the right call is PrizePicks. PrizePicks is the easiest way to get in on daily fantasy. Just pick more or less on at least 2 player projections, lock in your lineup, and you're in the game. It's simple, fast, and available in 45 states, including California, Texas, Florida, and Georgia. Creating a lineup takes less than a minute, and the app makes the whole process smooth and intuitive. The early payout feature, it's a great bonus. When your lineup starts strong, you may get the option to cash out early. Download the PrizePicks app today and use code LOCKEDONNFL to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, you can download the PrizePicks app today. Use that code LOCKEDONNFL to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Code LOCKEDONNFL to get $50 in lineups after your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, it's good to be right. Thank you for making Locked On Patriots your first listen of the day, and thank you for making Locked On the #1 sports podcast network, your team every day. And don't forget, you're watching on YouTube, to click that thumbs up, give us a like. It helps us out. Don't forget to comment as well your thoughts about this game. There are a lot of things to break down stemming from this win in Cincinnati, so don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, and don't forget to subscribe. We have surpassed 7,500 subscribers thanks to every single solitary one of you and your support. Let's continue to push, and let's get that number now to 8,000. Let's show the rest of Locked On that Patriots fans can absolutely represent their football team, and let's make Locked On Patriots one of the best, if not the best, podcasts in this space. I got tired. of hearing people and reading about the tremendous injury luck of the New England Patriots over the past few weeks. And my friend Greg Bedard is public enemy number one when it comes to this. He's gone on radio and talked about the magical touch of Mike Vrabel and how everybody that gets hurt comes back quickly. And I got tired of it because it's not as if you were walking into the playoffs. Yeah, I mean, you had played 11 games. You still had 6 games left. And to me, it was way too early to be squawking about the tremendous injury luck. It is a game of attrition. It is a battle of attrition. And I think now, at this point, after today's game, we can take all the injury luck talk and we can shove it right into the garbage can. Because that injury luck talk is officially DOA at this point. Jared Wilson, early in this game, gets hurt, carted to the locker room. According to postgame reports in the locker room, Jared Wilson had a walking boot and a crutch. Not a good sign, folks. Not a good sign when you have a walking boot and a crutch. If that wasn't bad enough, you lose your starting left guard. Will Campbell goes down. And he's carted to the locker room. And I don't know about you, but I would not look at Will Campbell as an emotional guy. I don't think he's a drama king, worried about the cameras. I don't think he's going to overreact to injuries. And as soon as that injury happened, when they went to Will Campbell, he was lying on his back on the field. He looked emotional. And I was concerned right away because I don't think Will Campbell's the type of guy who's going to be lying down on the field looking emotional unless he knows something significantly just went wrong. And then the TV goes to break. We find out on Twitter, social media, that players were kneeling around Will Campbell. We get back from the commercial break. We see Will Campbell being carted to the locker room. He has the towel over his head, which is the universal signal of I'm crying my eyes out. Stephon Diggs said in the postgame, hopefully it's not as bad as we think. It feels like this is a devastating injury for Will Campbell, which stinks. It stinks out loud because Will Campbell's been good. We've talked about it. Will Campbell has been good at left tackle. He hasn't been spectacular, but he has been above average. And he has been at least steady. And now who knows what's wrong with the knee because the Patriots did announce it's a knee. I'm not going to speculate, but just the reaction from Campbell, the reaction from his teammates, it doesn't feel like it's going to be good news when we find out officially what happened to Will Campbell today. Mike Vrabel would not talk about any of these injuries in the postgame, did not want to touch them with a 10-foot pole. But now you got Vidarian Lowe at left tackle. And we saw Vidarian Lowe last year, and we didn't love Vidarian Lowe at left tackle last season. So this Will Campbell injury could be a gigantic injury for this football team. And now the left side of your offensive line, we'll see what happens with Jared Wilson. But again, judging from Jared Wilson in a walking boot with a crutch, that usually means it's a significant injury, folks. And Will Campbell and what Stephon Diggs said after the game and Will Campbell's reaction, that also looked like a pretty significant injury. We could be, and I underline the word could be, we could be talking about the starting left side of your offensive line being done for the season. And if not for the season, maybe Jared Wilson can possibly come back if/when you get to the playoffs. Maybe he can find himself back on the field. But it feels right now in the moment that both Jared Wilson and Will Campbell are going to be out for a significant period of time. And that is just crushing. The left side of your offensive line, the blind side for your quarterback, if they are out for extended period of time, that is going to be an issue that hopefully you can survive and get through, but it ain't going to be easy because nobody's going to sit there and ask for Vidarian Lowe to be your starting left tackle. Ben Brown has been good in spots, but his third snap today, he gets pushed in the backfield, creating pressure on Drake Maye immediately. So now you're looking at, I think, Vidarian Lowe and Ben Brown for quite a ways here. Quite a ways. And that's going to put a lot of pressure on your tight ends. And the tight ends, both Hunter Henry and Austin Hooper, have been inconsistent when it comes to blocking and in pass protection. And so now this is going to put even more pressure on Hunter Henry and Austin Hooper to protect Drake Maye. It's going to put even more pressure on your running backs and Ramondre Stevenson and Travion Henderson. It's going to put more pressure on those guys to protect your quarterback and pick up blitzes. This is a trickle-down effect. The domino effect when you lose two starting offensive linemen the same day on the same side, that's going to create a mess. And Drake Maye has to continue to stand tall and show the pocket poise that he has shown. He has to be able to navigate the pocket because I'm telling you right now, if Vidarian Lowe starts becoming a turnstile and Ben Brown is a question in pass protection and everything's going on here, I'm telling you, it's really difficult for any quarterback, no matter how great the quarterback is or how great the quarterback is playing. It's very, very difficult for the quarterback to not be thinking about the pass rush in the back of their head if they don't trust the guys in front of them. And if you are without Campbell and Wilson for this extended period of time, and you've got Lowe and Brown on the left side, Drake Maye has to try as hard as he possibly can to not allow that to seep into his brain. He's got to trust his guys. He's got to trust his tight ends and his running backs to pick up blitzes if they come at him. So there's going to be some pressure. There's going to be some pressure on Drake Maye. And there's going to be some pressure on Josh McDaniels. Because now if you are dealing with two backup offensive linemen on the left side, you've got to find ways. You've got to create ways to get rid of the football quicker. We haven't seen a ton of quick game this year from the Patriots, and that's been surprising. But I think you might see some more quick game from Josh McDaniels moving forward if you do have these offensive line questions. This is going to be a big-time challenge for Josh McDaniels. You know, this is why your offensive coordinator is huge in this type of situation. Alex Van Pelt last year, I thought, failed the football team by not protecting his tackles enough. Well, now Josh McDaniels will have that opportunity. Find ways to move the ball. You don't have a great run game. You've got some offensive line injuries now. It's going to be up to Josh McDaniels to find those ways to move the ball, to protect his quarterback, to get the ball out of the hands of Drake Maye even quicker. Don't let this become a disaster. And if it wasn't enough with Jared Wilson and Will Campbell getting both carted to the locker room today, Kyrie's Tonga also got banged up, has a chest injury. And so now you don't have Milton Williams for at least the next 3 games, as we know, because he's on IR. You were going to bank on Kyrie's Tonga to take a decent amount of those snaps. We'll see how healthy Tonga is, but he was banged up today. Brendan Schooler was seen in the locker room walking around with a boot on. And I know he's a special teams guy. We don't talk about special teams a lot, but Brendan Schooler is one of your best special teams players along with Marcus Jones. So Kyrie's Tonga, Brendan Schooler, Jared Wilson, Will Campbell, Morgan Moses left for a couple of minutes. Thankfully, it was only an illness, and he came back. I'm sure he got an IV in the locker room. He was able to come back, thankfully. but no more. I don't want to hear about injury luck. It is done. Shoot it into the sun. I'm done with it. If anybody sits there and talks about the injury luck for the first couple months of this season by the Patriots and for the Patriots, I have zero patience for that. I'm done with that conversation. It ends today. This is what happens when you don't have a bye week until week 14. For the second straight year, by the way. But this is what happens when you've got to try to get through 13 consecutive weeks without a bye, which is absolutely insane to me. And that would be insane for any team. But this is what happens. All right, we got more. We've got more. Stay tuned. We'll be right back quickly here and talk about the Pats having an opportunity to run away with this one, because they did, but they kept coming up just short. We got to talk about the red zone offense. We got to talk about a Mike Vrabel decision that I disagreed with. All of that more coming up next. This is Locked On Patriots, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. The NFL season is rolling along, and honestly, there's nothing better than being in the stadium surrounded by fans and cheering on your team. But let's be honest, getting tickets can be a hassle between queues and login screens and prices jumping at checkout. It's frustrating. That's why you should use Gametime, the app that gives the advantage back to fans. Gametime is fast, easy, and backed by the Gametime guarantee. You'll always get 100% authentic tickets delivered on time and at the best price. Plus, all the fees are included, so the price that you see is the price that you actually pay. You pull up Gametime, just a couple of taps, you see amazing deals. Talking about your favorite NFL games, as low as $100. And check out the zone deals. You can pick the section. Gametime picks the seats, and you save big. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, that's promo code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download Gametime today. Don't forget to help us out watching on YouTube. Like, comment, and subscribe. Help a brother out. Help a podcast out. Locked On Patriots, trying to continue to grow this brand with all of you. Your tremendous support this season. I took over in April. Can't say enough. All of you that have been standing by and watching all these podcasts and going back and forth and interacting with each other in the comments. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. All right, we got to talk about the red zone offense. I wish I didn't have to, but if I didn't talk about the red zone offense after this game, it would be malpractice on my part. The Patriots' red zone offense today was disgusting. And we have to appreciate the context that not only was your red zone offense horrific, it was against one of the worst red zone defenses in football. What we saw from the red zone offense today was inexcusable. It felt like the Patriots had 30 snaps from inside the 5 and couldn't get into the end zone. First drive of the third quarter was an absolute killer. Drake Maye is looking at a 3rd and 11, throws a dime down the field to Pop Douglas, 37 yards. Beautiful throw. And you're like, yes, right? You were stuck 3rd and 11, first drive out of halftime, critical drive, want to put points on the board. You had a really bad end of the half. You allowed a 21-yard run to Chase Brown. You allowed a 16 or 17-yard catch to T. Higgins. And, of course, Cincinnati hits a bomb of a field goal. It was a bad ending to the first half. You go out there in the second half. You're looking at a 3rd and 11. You're like, man, oh, man, the Patriots don't convert this 3rd and 11. Cincinnati gets the football back. They're going to have all this momentum. Maye with a great pass to Pop Douglas. Really, really good catch by Pop, who was able to keep his concentration somehow. You get 37 yards. And then you have a 1st and 10, deep shot down to the left sideline, Kayshon Boutte. You get the obvious defensive pass interference call on Cincinnati, which sets you up 1st and goal. Here's what happened after that. 1st and goal. Looked like a quarterback option run kind of deal. Went nowhere, nothing play. 2nd and goal, under center. You swing it to Travion Henderson. He gets 4 yards. He gets you right about at the 1-yard line. 3rd and goal, I formation, play action, bootleg. Pass broken up by Giles Harris versus Hunter Henry. 4th and goal, 1 yard line, under center, incomplete to Kayshon Boutte. You get another defensive pass interference call. So you just had 4 shots at the goal line, pretty much inside the 5. You couldn't get in, but you're gifted another set of downs. I shouldn't say gifted. You're given another set of downs because it was an obvious hold and an obvious DPI on Cincinnati. First and goal, I formation. Terrell Jennings, no gain. Second and goal, under center, I formation, play action. Henry gets a touchdown, called back. Mac Hollins, offensive pass interference. Second and goal. I thought this was a really good play call by Josh McDaniels. The shotgun, play action, shovel pass to Hunter Henry, which gets you to the 1 yard line. Meanwhile, the Patriots spend their second timeout of the drive, which is unconscionable. They spend 2 of their 3 timeouts on the first drive of the second half. There was confusion in the huddle. At one point, you had 12 in the huddle. Thankfully, it looked like the official wasn't really paying attention. You go back out there. It's third and goal. You have I formation, Ramondre Stevenson, no gain. Fourth and goal, shotgun formation, another run, goes nowhere. And I'll tell you, I disagreed with Mike Vrabel not kicking on that fourth and goal. I absolutely love Mike Vrabel's decision-making on fourth down this year. I think he has done a tremendous job. But you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You had 8 shots to get into the end zone, and you couldn't do it. And at that point, I say to myself, we can't score. You can put us at the 1, and we can have 25 plays, and we won't get in. Yeah, it really stinks to kick a field goal from the 1 yard line. I get it. But given the context, the fact that you had 8 straight snaps and you couldn't get in, I would have kicked the field goal. Number 2, if you're not going to kick the field goal, you have to put that play, that fourth and goal, you've got to put it in the hands of Drake Maye. You cannot run up the middle yet again for no gain. You have to put that play in the hands of your quarterback. You've got to trust your quarterback. So I didn't like the decision to go for it, and I didn't like the play call on fourth and goal. And then you had another goal line disaster. In the fourth quarter, your third drive of the second half, first and goal, under center, play action, bootleg, incomplete pass, goes nowhere. Second and goal, shotgun formation, Travion Henderson to the half-yard line. Almost got in. And then third and goal, you tried this fakakta tush push, which didn't happen. You got absolutely nowhere. And this is against, again, one of the worst red zone defenses in football. Brutal. Lack of run game. Your offensive line wasn't getting any push. I thought there was some lack of creativity from your play caller and Josh McDaniels. I mean, you've got to finish these drives. You're moving the ball down. I had the Patriots scoring 31 points today. And if they could actually finish drives, they would have scored 31, 35 points today. If they could have scored from inside the 5. Just a really rough day for this offense down in the low red zone. And now you got Vidarian Lowe and Ben Brown probably on the left side for the foreseeable future of your offensive line. That's not going to make it any easier. Do you spread them out more? I mean, if you're Josh McDaniels, you might want to spread out the defense a little bit more, go empty. I would love to see at least one snap from inside the 5 where you go empty formation and you have Drake Maye try to run it in. A little quarterback draw from the shotgun formation. Spread out the defense and give Maye a shot. Because these condensed formations and trying to run the football, it's just not working consistently. It's really not working on a consistent basis. I know you got 2 touchdown runs against the Jets on Thursday Night Football. But this red zone offense has been mid the entire year. And today, it was brutal to watch, man. It was absolutely brutal that you could not push Cincinnati around and score. I don't know if you run more motion. I don't know if you need more trickery, but you've got to figure this out. If your quarterback is getting it down to the 5 yard line, you've got to finish those drives. Christian Gonzalez also gave up a touchdown to a guy by the name of Mitchell Tinsley, not Mitchell Trubisky, Mitchell Tinsley. I didn't even know he existed. He scored a touchdown on your best corner in the fourth quarter. Not ideal. The Carlton Davis defensive pass interference against Higgins. Again, nice job by Carlton Davis to bounce back and have 3 pass breakups in that final drive. Fantastic resiliency from Carlton Davis, but there's another flag on Carlton Davis. Now, fortunately, the Patriots only had 4 penalties today. So from a discipline standpoint with flags, it's been much better the last 2 weeks. This one wasn't easy. And this one could end up being very costly as we wait to see what the final diagnosis is of Will Campbell and Jared Wilson's injuries. But a win is a win is a win. And you are now 10-2. You are currently the number 1 seed in the AFC. You have lots to clean up after this one. The biggest question, obviously, is health. But you are 10-2. You've won 9 straight, and you've got one more game, Monday Night Football, a week from tomorrow night against the New York Giants. You've got one more game to get to your bye and hopefully exhale and figure some of these things out. But a win is a win. 10-2. First time the Patriots have won 9 or more games straight since, I think, 2015. So a win is a win, and you're the 1 seed right now. But, man, you cross your fingers and hope these injuries are not as bad as they looked, and hope the Patriots can figure out this red zone offense stuff, because they had a golden opportunity to boat race Cincinnati today, and they didn't take advantage of it. All right, that wraps up this edition of Locked On Patriots. Thank you for making us your first listen and for being an everydayer. Reach out to me on Twitter at NickCRadio. Don't forget to throw a comment in on the YouTube channel. Don't forget to hit that like button. Give us the thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. And for your second listen, get a double dose of the Locked On NFL podcast with Tyler the Madman Rowland and Tony Wiggins. Find Locked On NFL on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. Have a great rest of your Sunday, and we will see you on Tuesday.